Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Held2gether's stand-up comedy showcase. Please welcome to the screen your host, Tim Stoltenberg.
Hey, there I am. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to Held2gether stand-up showcase, coming live from my living room and other homes across the country. We're so happy to have you joining us tonight, sharing some of the comedy we've been working on, because let's admit it, we could all use a little comedy right now, a break from our regular world that we live in. So thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. In these times, we want to make sure that we're continuing to support theaters out there. So even though we can't go to them, still doesn't mean you can't watch their shows and donate when you can, so that when we do get back to live performances, we can all be there and the theaters will still be there. So please support your live theater, wherever community that you're in. Hey, welcome to my home. This is the wall that I haven't decorated. We're on Zoom. Seems like everything's on Zoom right now. Even my therapy has gone to Zoom, which I don't like. I don't like it. I like the in-person therapy better because, when you're in person, it's just you, your therapist, you're in a room, trapped with my emotions, and we can't get away from one another. There's no distractions. It's just my therapist and me working on this. And in this Zoom world, I feel like there's too many distractions. Like my therapist fell asleep the other day during our session, which as a performer is seeing someone fall asleep that you're talking to is like the worst thing in the world. So I was really like, oh, I should have gone to grad school. And then I went home and I wrote completely new material. I was like, I really got to up my issues to keep this guy interested in what I'm doing. What I really missed about the in-person therapy sessions is that it made you do something, like you would go out into the world, you do your therapy, you come home, and even if you got home and you were feeling still kind of down and you're like, I'm not motivated, at least you could say, I got out of my apartment and I changed my clothes. In this Zoom therapy, the only thing I can say I changed is the position that I was on the couch. I was lying down. Now I'm sort of leaning down a little bit. And I'm still wearing the clothes I have been for 4 days. So I'm up here in Wisconsin, where I'm from, where I'm riding out this COVID. I really do miss LA though. I miss living in the city. I miss the warm weather. There's big differences about city folk and country folk. Something that I've always admired about city people who grew up and are from a city is they have this real aggressive pride to where they're from. And like, I'll give you an example. Like when I first met my buddy Adam, I was like, oh, hey man, Adam, right? Where are you from? And he was like, Detroit, motherfucker. You don't know. And I was like, whoa, no, I don't. That's why I was asking. But it was such this just like aggressive pride. And I don't think country folk, rural country folk, we don't have that. Not because we're not proud of where we're from, not because we don't have aggression. I think it's because it takes too long for us to explain where we're from to maintain that aggressive anger. Like if you were to ask me where I'm from, I'd be like, hey, excuse me, Tim, where you from? And I'd be like, where am I from? I'll tell you where I'm from, motherfucker. I am from Wisconsin, not just any Wisconsin. I'm from rural Wisconsin on the east side of the state in Sheboygan County, but I'm not in the city of Sheboygan, more towards Plymouth, which is actually not the town I'm from. I'm actually 10 to 12 miles outside of it. What you want to do is you want to get on 67 North, you hit County Road E. Then you can take a right on County Road N. And as you keep going down, you're going to know you're on the right road because you're going to see a chicken hatchery on the right. It's not a chicken hatchery anymore. Now it closed down. Now they use that space to store boats. So you're on the right road. You're going to go for another 4 country miles. You're like, how long that is? Because you can go through a swamp area. There's going to be a truck that has pulled over to the side of the road. It's always there. We call it swamp truck. They're going to go up 2 big hills. We are the 3rd driveway on the left down that 2nd big hill. Not the gravel one. Not the one goes down to another pit. It's the 3rd one. It's blacktop. You're going to see a gray house, 4 pine trees, big red barn in the back. That's where I'm from. You don't know. It's too long for that to go through. Growing up in the country, I always liked city. One thing I'm always jealous about is people who live in the city can go walking at night. And it's perfectly normal. You can't go walking at night in the country. It's weird and eerie. It's crazy. I quarantined with my parents when I came back to Wisconsin for the 14 days to make sure we were safe, which was tough, because 14 days you can't have any physical contact with your parents, which is really hard because my mom's a really good kisser. So the one good thing I'll say about this whole COVID thing is it's really chilled my mom out about asking me where I am in my relationship status. I'm single, and she really wants me to find somebody. A while back, she would call me and she's like, "Oh, hey, Tim, I was just at the grocery store. I ran into Gretchen Wagner. You remember her? She's divorced." And I'd be like, "Ma, thank you. I mean, that's a great way to do an icebreaker, to call somebody up and be like, hey, we haven't talked in 20 years, but I heard you're lonely like me, so maybe we should date." It was getting bad. She was getting real desperate. One time she called me up. She's like, "Hey, Tim, I went into town and I saw a woman." So she was like literally anything for that woman. I've come to realize that if I do get married, I'm going to get married later in life. I'm 42, so I'm probably going to get married a little later in life, which actually I'm okay with, because if I get married later in life, just about when my wife and I start to like lose the fun on a marriage and really start to hate each other, dementia and Alzheimer's should be kicking in, and we'll forget it and we'll fall right back in love. So, that's a good thing about it. I told you my age, which means I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up in the 80s. Some of you may have grown up in the 80s too. 80s, well, great decade, Say no to drugs, Iran-Contra, and the whole stranger danger thing. For those of you who weren't from the 80s, we had a big fear about stranger danger, which means that strangers were going to kidnap your child all the time, and you had to be aware of it. The classic example was like as a kid, you'd be playing with your friends, and then somebody would pull up, and they would claim to be a friend of your parents, and that your parents got in an accident and they're here to take you to them. You would go with them, and then nobody would ever see you again. So the way to counteract that is they told every family to come up with their own secret password. So if the person showed up, they had to know the password to take you. And I'm going to tell you the Stoltenberg family password. It was pudding, like the dessert. That was our password. We never had to use it, thankfully. And as I've gotten older, I'm always like, I wonder how would that work? So let's say something did happen, and this is what it would play out. It's like, guy shows up like, "Hey, I'm looking for Timmy Stoltenberg. Tim, son, come over here. Look, you don't know me, but I'm a friend of your parents, and I don't know how to say this, but there's been a terrible accident. Your mom's on life support. I don't know if she's gonna pull through. Your dad's got a lot of tubes. Come on, I'm sorry, pudding, and I gotta take you to him right now, pudding, so that you know that they're gonna pudding to be okay. So you gotta come with me, pudding." It just seems to be very choppy. Even as a kid, I'd be like, this doesn't make any sense. I don't think I'd believe them. The crazy thing about in the 80s is that, they were always warning kids about stranger danger, right? Strangers are going to take you. And the crazy thing is they should have been warning us about uncles, priests, and congressmen. Those are the three people they should have been warning us about. That's the people you want to stay away from. So I guess live and learn with that. Hey, it's comedy night, everybody. You get to sit back in your homes, put your feet up, not wear any pants, put on those slippers, and just enjoy people in their living rooms doing comedy for you. And I can't wait for everybody to experience this tonight. We have a wonderful group of comedians. I get to introduce the first comedian I'm super excited about. Incredibly talented, an amazing, nice person. Please, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise in your house for Rico Tamayo! Bye, Rico.
Hey guys, my name is Rico, and I hope you're having a great night tonight. Since Shelter in Place started, I have become such a couch potato, and one of my favorite things to do is watch Netflix. I was binge watching some shows the other day when this message popped up. The one that says, your credit card is about to expire. And I got really anxious thinking about, oh my God, how am I going to tell my neighbor that her credit card expired? I guess I'll get the courage to tell her that, and also tell her that I borrowed her hot pot and her vibrator. I don't always watch Netflix though. Sometimes I just lie on the sofa and I don't do anything but stare at the ceiling. It's my Zen time, one day I was just lying there and I saw this bug that was on the ceiling right above me, and he wasn't moving. He didn't move for hours. And I thought, man, that has got to be the laziest bug ever. I wonder what that bug was thinking. You know, the other day I was on the ceiling and I was looking at this human being on the sofa, and he didn't move for hours. He was the laziest human being I've ever seen. So since I've been sheltering in place, you know, I've picked up a few hobbies, and one of them my cousin taught me. She likes to embroider throw pillows that have funny or inspirational sayings on them. She actually smothered her husband to death with a throw pillow, and when it went to court, it was used as evidence, and it read, "Today is the first day of the rest of your life." Now, my throw pillows are not that inspiring. I mean, the first one I made, it just said, "Objects on the sofa are closer than they appear." The second pillow was a little more fun. That one said, "I'm off to Club Bed," featuring DJ Pillow and McBlanky. Not gonna lie, the DJ and I have gotten kind of intimate with each other. He's kinky. Another thing I do while I'm on the sofa is I look at Facebook. But one thing I don't like is everybody seems to be happy all the time. And I know they're lying. I have this cousin who went to Lake Tahoe with his girlfriend, and he posted all these pictures of them, all romantic with the sun setting behind them. And he puts a post that says, "Best weekend getaway ever." Later that week, he called me and he told me that they fought all the time. She would not have sex with him until he bought her Subway. I wonder, you know, what she would have done if he'd bought her Domino's. Probably a blowjob and a finger up the butt. I don't know. So I've decided that when I now post on Facebook, I'm going to tell the truth. When my friend Danica has her little 6-week-old baby dressed up like an elf, and she asks, "Hey guys, does he look like me or his daddy?" I'm going to post, "Your baby looks like a potato with eyes." And when my friend Ferdy, he cannot cook for shit, but he's always posting what he made for dinner, and he says, "Hey guys, you like my beef stroganoff?" I'm gonna say, that looks like the fake vomit that we used to be able to buy off the back of a comic book. And when another friend of mine, who always posts her toddler doing all these different kinds of things, says, "Don't you wish you had kids?" I'm going to comment, "No, I'm actually glad I don't have kids. I don't trust them. I don't like people who don't know when they're going to throw up." You know what? That inspires me. I think I know what I'm going to embroider for my next throw pillow. Thank you, everybody. My name is Rico, and I'd like to introduce our next comic, who is fantastic and has the best hair west of the Mississippi. His name is Sean. Take a look at Sean.
Rico, thanks so much. So funny, so funny. I got pudding and comic book throw up going through my head right now. I love that stuff. I just want to give a quick thank you to Tim for hosting, and to Held2gether for putting this together. Really appreciate it. Again, I'm Sean Hannaway, and I just want to say, you know, I'm a dad, and I'm a dad of 2 great kids, and I love being a dad. Really. I mean, you have those heartfelt talks with the kids, you have those hugs, you know, you have the trips to the emergency room because your son shot your daughter in the ear with a Nerf machine gun at point blank range. Why do we have Nerf machine guns again? Really? Are we training our children for some future Nerf war? I don't know. But as a parent, sometimes you feel, inadequate, right? Like, for example, for me, I'm petrified my kids have an eating disorder. Yeah, because they both eat like Muppets. That's fine when you're 3, it's adorable and cute. But as a teenager, it's a daily shitstorm. I mean, literally, CNN should send their hurricane reporter into my kitchen. It's like, yeah, Wolf, we're in the kitchen now. And yes, there is food everywhere. I just spoke with an authority, and he says it's only going to get worse, and it's going to go to a category 5 food NATO. Yeah, it's really bad. And so after each meal, I'm sweeping up, and I calculated one night, it was like my kids are only eating 10 to 15% of the food. It's like dinner's like a carny game at the state fair, where the basketball is just a little too big to get in the hoop. It's like, step right up here, come on over. It's 3 spoonfuls of food for $42 because they're all organic. Little lady, you try. Oh, good try, but you missed. You know what? You can try again tomorrow morning at breakfast. I look at my wife sometimes and I'm just like, where did we go wrong? Yeah, we read the books, listened to the podcasts. We even talked to my wife's annoying know-it-all friend, Julie. God, I hate Julie. And then we had a fight and we just decided, let's go with the tried and true method. The sound and shove. Everybody knows that. It's like airplanes coming in for a landing. And my kids would open their mouth, and then you'd be like, ponies coming into the barn. And then you're like, Ryan Gosling in La La Land trying to get an Emma Stone. Okay, that was something else. But I don't want to brag about my kids, but they did really well. But it didn't stick. Yeah, it was like midway through elementary schooling, and I just started to notice, like, more food coming out of the mouth and some spittle. And next thing you know, I'm eating dinner with my kids, and I got 2 confetti cannons from the Super Bowl next to me. It was tough. But you know what? I wanted to blame my wife. I really did. But we all know who's to blame. It's just as plain as day, right? It's Costco. Yeah. I mean, their whole marketing plan is let's shove as much crap into a box and then put a price on it and make people think that it's a good deal, right? Yeah. It's like you're going through Costco. You're like, 54 bottles of ketchup for $424. Oof. Sounds like a lot, but you know what? I'm going to trust Costco. And then you get home, you look at the receipt and you kind of do the math, carry the one, you're like, $6 a bottle? That's how they get you. But they suck you back in. Right? You always want to go because there are those things you can't resist. I call it the Costco cocaine. For me, the top on the list, yeah, right? The $4.99 rotisserie chicken. You can't resist it. You don't know why it's so good, but it's kind of like a game of Monopoly, right? You'll never finish the thing. It's like I got carcasses of quarter-eaten rotisserie chickens everywhere. But then for some reason, you have to go back to Costco. And so I go back. I was going to make a small purchase, just the smallest pack of toilet paper they have there. I think it's the 600 roll. And so I'm walking into Costco and I look and I see the rotisserie chicken area. And I start to sweat and get nervous. And then my eyes connect with those rotisserie chicken pushers behind the glass. You know, the ones with the hair net and the dirty aprons and the sanctimonious smile. I knock on the glass. Hey, how much for the rotisserie chicken? And Carl, the 17-year-old worker with the 3 medications worth of acne on his face, yells back, "Sir, it's $4.99. I grab one, put it in my cart, and as I'm walking away, get close to the glass, and I mouth the words to Carl, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself." And then 2 weeks later, I open up the fridge and I see the carcass of the barely eaten rotisserie chicken in the corner of my fridge, all brown and gone bad. And I feel bad. I feel ashamed. But then I look over at my kids eating breakfast with 2 piles of food next to them on either side, looking like little woodland beavers. And I know it's not my fault. It's Costco's fault. And Carl. Thanks, everybody. I'm Sean Hannaway. Really appreciate the time. Now what I want to do is I want to take you to the next comedian. He's a super funny guy, and he is the best dressed comic tonight, maybe anywhere. I'd like to introduce Emmanuel.
Woo!
Take it away.
All right. Thank you very much, Sean. All right. So it's almost Christmas time. Christmas, the season that everybody started celebrating 2 months ago. Isn't it weird how most people start celebrating Christmas immediately after Halloween? Like, forget Thanksgiving. We don't need that. Meanwhile, the turkeys are just like, oh, thank the turkey gods. Yes, we made it another year. What a great day, huh, Dave? Dave? I'll miss that, buddy. When the clock strikes 12, boom! You have the Christmas sweater on your grandma knitted you 4 years ago, but you don't like, but you wear it anyway. Michael Bublé comes out of hibernation, and you write your Christmas list of stuff you will want for one day and never again, and throw it into the black hole of your house, never to be seen again. And I find it weird that people do that, including me. I do that too. And I find things completely impractical things. And I'm just like, oh, wow, I really want that plastic gold dog tape dispenser. I always use tape. No, I don't. We try to convince ourselves of crap we don't need. Hence why Amazon exists in the first place. Amazon, now it's a lot like Sky Mall. It's just a bunch of stuff you don't need with fake 5-star reviews and a person smiling like they're dead inside trying to sell you something. Order now. And the next thing is the disposable paper, the thing that people use to create 3 seconds of extra more excitement for something you already know what it is. You're just like, oh, wow, it's the shirt that I asked for and went with you to get so I wouldn't hate it. You really know me. Yeah, forget that. And as soon as you get to a certain age, all you want is money. Nothing else. All you want is money. And the reason why you want money is because you suck at money management. Why else would you be asking for money during Christmas if you didn't suck at it? You just go to the store like, hey, can you buy me that? Didn't you just get money for Christmas? Oh, yeah, I don't have any more. What'd you do with it? Oh, I bought a gold dog tape dispenser. You are a sad, strange little man. During Christmas, you have Christmas dinner, which is nice and calm and peaceful for 2 minutes. And then Uncle Joe just starts complaining and comparing the mashed potatoes to how America is turning into a big pile of glop. It's like Thanksgiving dinner part 2, the sequel nobody asked for, but here you go. Served on a platter. I'm just thinking to myself, remember peace on earth? Let's start smaller. Much, much smaller. And some of these Christmas traditions are just weird, like the advent calendar. That advent calendar with the chocolate just boggles my mind. The parents are just like, "Hey, Timmy, we're 2 days away from Christmas. Aren't you excited?" Yeah. But forget about it. I want the candy. I want the chocolate. Give me the chocolate. I want the chocolate. I want the chocolate. Almond? This thing gave me almond joy. Nobody likes almond joy. This almond joy does not give me joy. I want real chocolate. That's how it goes. And the weirdest thing is, why are all the numbers just scattered around and the same color as the box? What kid wants to do Where's Waldo for 24 days in a row for some mediocre chocolate that you get at the dollar store? Nobody. That's who. Another weird tradition is decorating of the tree. And the decorating of the tree, it's a lot like an older and younger sibling. The front is the youngest. The back is the oldest. The youngest, you decorate it all pretty like and make it all perfect. And the back, you just have tinsel and just one, maybe just one ornament. Just saying it to it. We know you're there. All right. And then you got the cookie making. Now, cookie decorating and making isn't bad. No, not at all. But it's bad when you do it with family members. There's always that one person that's always just like, all right, so it's not a competition. Don't worry about it, guys. We're just going to have fun around here. Timmy, don't worry about it. We're just going to have fun here. There are no wrong cookies. This is not a competition at all. We're all just having fun here. Merry Christmas, guys. Or in other words, if any of you even think, even make the same cookie as me, and I notice, and you try to hide, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will bake you. All right, let's get to baking. So I guess the moral of the story is decorate all the tree, pick a present that's practical, and don't drink expired eggnog. All right, guys. Merry Christmas. Thank you very much for listening to my Christmas stuff. And up next, we have a very funny, super cool guy. Up next, Leon. Take it away.
Woo! Yeah. Woo-hoo. Thanks, Iman. Great set. The Almond Joy brings back memories. And I remember the Mounds bar too. So my video should be activating very quickly. But in the meantime, this year I bought a flocked Christmas tree because I figured during COVID, no one's going to be flocking to my house. And I bought a stationary bike but the bike has pedals. Go figure. And I also bought holiday chasing lights. And it's quite interesting, those lights. They just go round and round nonstop. So I figured whoever created it must be running away from something, or I know the secret. One light bulb has the secret to not blow out. So all the other lights say, wow, we want that secret. So they keep chasing them, and it's never ending. So a great pastime of mine during this time is to be on the stationary bike going nowhere and watching these chasing lights going nowhere as well. Go figure. Okay, so COVID is here, and it's going to be here during the holidays, which means that travel is restricted, and that means I'm going to stay put, and that means I'm going to be here alone in my house a lot for dinners, especially that these restaurants are now closed again. So I need to develop multiple roles for these dinners. So as I walk into the dining room, I'm greeted by a host. Good evening, sir. How many in your party? Duh, it's one. Okay, follow me here. You'll sit in front of the Christmas tree. But the Christmas tree blocks my view out the window. Well, there's only one more seat left. It's right here, facing the wall. Oh, I'll take the view with the Christmas tree instead. Good. Here's your menu. Your server will be here momentarily. Hi, sir. Good evening. I'm your server. And what can I get you for appetizer or drink? Well, for appetizer, I would like celery sticks and hummus, and I'll have an adult beverage with alcohol. Let's say red wine. Ooh, that's sexy. I'll get that for you right away. And we can go over the menu. It's a fixed holiday menu. The first course is mushroom soup, yummy, followed by a spinach salad. And your main is a thick slice of ham. And to top it off with dessert, it is boys in berry pie. Oh boy, I'm going to like that. I know you will. So dinner gets started, and I invite the server to join me because I want someone to talk to, of course. So the server asks me, so how's your job coming along? Well, it's really hectic and busy. This telecommuting thing, being at home, seems to create a lot more work and a lot more projects, and it's never ending. So it's so relaxing to be out of work, to be off work, and to have a holiday break. Oh, I see. You need that. And how's your love life? Well, that's a good question. And it literally sucks. COVID has really put a damper on dating, on courting, on all relationships. So it's a mess right now. Well, I wish you luck. Thank you. So now that dinner's over, we go over to the Christmas tree, and I invited host and server to partake in the gift exchange with the white elephant game. So there are 4 gifts. So I'll start with the first gift. It's a cute little bag. Inside is, whoa, a Starbucks gift card for $5. So cheap. I wonder who brought that. I hope someone takes this one away. Okay, host, it's your turn. Okay, I'll take the little box. Let me see what's inside. Oh, it's cologne. Ooh, I like the scent. But wait, is this a hint? Because I'm not showering as much during COVID? But who cares? I like the cologne. Good. Okay, server, it's your turn. Okay, I'll take the bigger box. No. I'm going to take the cologne away from host. Hey, wait, you can't take my cologne. I like it. Yeah, but the rules say that I can take the cologne from you. Okay, here you go. Well, host, don't get too upset. You can get a new gift now. Oh, okay. I'll take the bigger box. Let's see what's here. Ooh, it's a Zen garden. That's all I needed, is a boring sandbox to entertain me. Well, now it's my turn again because I went first, so I can go last now. those are the rules. So since no one took away my gift card, I'm going to get the new gift. It's a shiny tin can. Let's open it. Poof. Wow, it has these fake balloon snakes coming out. Wow. Oh, but wait, there's something inside. Ooh, it's a fossil watch with all the 10 gears exposed. And it doesn't have any hands to tell the time. So I guess I need to count every tick from every gear to see what time it is. Well, Fossil really went out of their way this time. They really are super inventive. So, well, I'll take it, I guess. Well, that's all the gifts. Thanks, host and server, for joining me. And thank you to all of you for joining me as well. Happy holidays. And next, we have a hilarious, lovely comedian. You're going to love her so much. Let's put our hands together for Mallory White.
Yeah, Mallory.
Hi. Thank you, Leon. Thank you. Hi. Okay. All right. Assuming you can see me, because I can barely see myself. Okay. Well, hi, I'm Mallory White. And in case you didn't notice, I matched my name, right? And it's pretty convenient. Kids love it. I'm a substitute teacher, so I'll go into a classroom, there'll be all these new kids, and I'm like, hi, I'm your substitute teacher, Miss White. Oh, your hair is white. Your skin is white. My sandwich is white. You know, there's always that one kid doesn't quite get it. But, you know, I'm more than white. I'm actually a wasp. And it's hard being a wasp because these days, nobody knows what that is, okay? You know, those things that zip around the park and like pester people who are just minding their own business, you know, those things. Yeah, that's my tribe. WASP, W-A-S-P. White, yeah, check. Anglo, synonym for white. Saxon, I don't know, Kenny G and Lederhosen. Protestant, you know, the Pilgrims, the original Karens. That's me. Hard to remember though, so I thought of an easier way to remember what WASP stands for, as white as Santa's penis. That's us. So who are these wasps anyway? Well, you've heard of the murder hornets, right? Those like giant insects that invade and destroy entire bee colonies. Well, we're like the murder hornets, more deadlier cousins, right? We're at the top of the patriarchal food chain. We're like the founding fathers, the signers of the Declaration of Independence, the colonizers' colonizer. We got Canada, we got India, we got Paul Hollywood. Sure, other countries cross the Atlantic to steal the land and to destroy the cultures of indigenous peoples. But for the fruits of our genocide and slavery, we forged democracy. For some, not for everyone, because we're wasps. We're the whitest of white. We are marshmallows and paste on a saltine cracker, otherwise known as Caucasian s'mores. We clap offbeat to the doorbell. We're bland people who like to talk about bland things like the weather and kitchen renovations. Karen, wait until you see my new granite countertop and my Kettle One cubby. Oh boy, but you know, I mean, we're just high on Zoloft and box wine and centuries of white privilege. But don't worry, we're a shrinking tribe. Our numbers are dwindling. And I don't really mind because I never really fit in. I don't live in a gated community. I don't mistrust people who don't look like me or who put spice in their food. I'm more Jack Sparrow than Julie Andrews. Stoltenberg, let's go pillage yon Bed Bath and Beyond. Speaking of pillaging, I went to Target the other day and I went into their in-store Starbucks and I bought myself one of those, creme brulee coffees before shopping. Big mistake because I couldn't drink it. I forgot that I had my mask on. So it was like symbolic, I'm like walking around like the pandemic Lady Liberty, wondering what to do with this. So I decided to go ahead and honor the other symbols of the pandemic. So I went and I saluted the face masks and I blessed the hand sanitizer. And I went to the toilet paper aisle and I twerked my gratitude without spilling a drop. And then I was escorted out by security for unlawful twerking, otherwise known as twerking while wasp. Don't tell anyone, but I really took a twerking class once. It was awkward. Yeah, I went in my workout clothes with my flat ass and tape on my mouth. I was determined not to ask any questions because I knew that whatever I said coming out of my mouth would just highlight my caucasity. So, this teacher gets on, she's doing these world-class twerk moves. And I'm watching her and I'm thinking, but not asking, could you show that again? Because I don't really get it. So she drops down, she humps the floor. And I'm like thinking, but I'm not asking. Really? You want me to do that? How do you get up? By the end of the class, my brain is on fire. I'm just like, I'm dying to know. Is it up, 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 or down, down, down? I never found out. I mean, twerking is not such a big deal anyway. It's just like a very large Kegel, right? And so that's like those are like mating calls for young people, like a really spirited mating call. But when you're closer to my age, it's like a firewall between you and Depends, diapers. Fun fact, Kegels were named after a gynecologist named Arnold Kegel. I don't get it. I mean, how does he get to have his name on a pelvic movement that women have been making since mammals crawled out of the sea? Just another example of women getting the shaft, I think. Thank you very much. My name is Mallory White and happy holidays. The next guest coming up is the very talented and very funny Carrie Lee.
Yeah. Woo!
That was awesome, Mallory. Thank you so much. And thanks for the intro. Hello, my beloveds. What is it about that greeting that makes you want to lean in for a cuddle and gouge the person's eyes out all at the same time? Or is that just me? I don't know. So how about those Zoom backgrounds, huh? Got the Eiffel Tower, the pyramids of Giza, that new series on the Fresno meth labs, super cute. But what I want to know is, where are the Zoom foregrounds, right? Where's the button I push that makes this fabulous avatar of me appear, perfect hair, ready to crush that meeting while I do the real work, drinking vodka in bed with the blinds drawn? So 2020, right? Speaking of which, what's the deal with God, I mean, they say back in the day, God so loved this world that he let his only son be tortured to death to save us. But he can't take out Mitch McConnell in a traffic accident? I mean, what's the deal with that? And why is God always a dude? I love men. Men are amazing, but you guys get more money for the same work. You get more places to piss at concerts and sporting events. And worst of all, you get dad bod, right? The whole world like drools and grovels in the shadow of your bloated ass beer guts, while women who are like 6 pounds overweight are pulling on those Spanx, which incidentally sever every oxygen pathway in the human body. So, sorry guys, you do not get to be the all-knowing Zoltar of the universe too. Fortunately, I'm a giver, and I did some rigorous research and some deep reflective meditation, and maybe had too many bowls of cereal. But in any case, I came to the profound conclusion that God is actually a gender fluid leprechaun with a deeply fucked up sense of humor. Now, I may not be the most objective person when it comes to dismantling patriarchal cosmologies, because see, I was raised Mormon, which basically means I grew up with this concept of the great chain of being. Like up here is God, male God, Jesus, the Mormon prophets, all the Mormon men, all the Mormon boy children, the inventor of Jello molds, the inventor of, I think it's clip-on ties. And then we had like Mormon women, Mormon girl children, and so on, the rest of you. For some reason, I decided at 16 I was gonna leave the church. And I was lucky because my mom was really cool about it. See, my mom is a totally open-minded Mormon, which now that I think about it is about as common as a leprechaun sighting. Maybe my mom is God. She is Irish. Okay, revision time. God is actually a Mormon widow who lives alone in Taylorsville, Utah, and has a wicked crush on CNN's Chris Cuomo. Yep, you heard it here first. God is a Cuomo-sexual. So, end of the year, right? Time to look back in horror maybe at 2020. It's also kind of a nostalgic time though. And I find myself just really longing for those days when the source of information actually mattered. Remember that? Today though, I mean, you can have like peer-reviewed scientific study, the sworn testimony of an international expert, and the mad rantings of Uncle Kenny, who just spent 3 days reading QAnon tweets and huffing lines off a high-end hooker's ass. And they're all given equal weight. This does not bode well for the future, my beloveds. Maybe I'll ask my mom, the Mormon leprechaun god, if she's got a punchline for that one. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm Carrie Lee, and up next is the brilliant, the beautiful, and the slightly dangerous Brenda Glim.
All right.
Thank you, Keri. Hey, I hope all of you are staying safe during this pandemic. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've been going through what I like to call stages of pandemic lockdown. My first stage was reconnecting with my family, which includes my wonderful 3 grandsons, a daughter, a husband, and a dog under the same roof. Slowing down, writing, trying new things. And my second stage was finding a dark, quiet corner in our home, away from the noise and the chaos, to now just being perpetually annoyed at everything and everyone. For instance, I'm always having to fill out some kind of online form. I mean, it annoys me how many want to know who referred me or give me 20% off if I refer people. So I started using drag queen names. My top 5, Pearly White, Anita Head, I've Gotta Go. Ganja Pots, not a chance. Got my 20% off every time. I'm even annoyed at my own language. I mean, the worst curse word I used to use was damn. Not anymore. These past 4 years have really been one long shit show, with 2020 being the icing on the cake. I'm now a fucking Democrat when I prefer to think of myself as a damn fine fucking independent. I have to wear masks, shields, and gloves whenever I leave my house because of fucking mask holes who think wearing a mask isn't macho. And now I've got this goddamn fucking tick that I can't get rid of. And it's not just me. Every girlfriend I talk to starts the conversation the same way. Hey, how the fuck are you doing? Fucking good. Damn fucking fine. Except for this fucking headache. You? Hell, I've even updated my will to make sure my tombstone says, "Here lies fucking Brenda." And you know what? It even happens with the kids. As I walked by my kindergartner grandson on school Zoom, I hear another kid's mom say, "I know, I cannot fucking hear, she cannot fucking hear, this is fucking stupid." To which Kyler responds, "It is fucking stupid." He got a free pass for the rest of the day. Another thing that really annoys me is mask hats who don't wear their mask properly. Carl and I were at Olive Pit the other day to order takeout. As we got up to order, there were two young men with bandanas on, one wearing his under his nose. I turned and in my best mommy voice said, son. He looks around, then looks at me. Put that over your nose. Surprised, he puts it on his nose and walks to the outdoor gated seating. As I pass him on the way out, I say, your nose is part of your respiratory system. It's how the virus gets in. He says, old lady, I'm just living life. I jumped the fence and landed on his table, feet first, looking down on his shocked face. And this old lady wants to keep living. You got a problem with that? I can still make grown men cry. So I promised Carl I wouldn't use my karate skills on unarmed men again. I know there are a lot of young people in the audience, but a few of my peeps are here, and I know they will know what I'm talking about when I say there is a lot of annoying shit that no one ever mentioned as a natural part of getting older. For instance, guys lose hair on their head, but gain hair on their eyebrow, ears, and nose. Women lose hair on their eyebrows, but we gain hair on our faces and our boobs. Laughing and coughing can cause leakage. Sometimes farts happen with no warning, but the worst is knowing that when you were young, if my nipples became erect, it was sexy. Now I'm more likely to hear, hey, turkey's done. I've also been embarrassed a few times lately because I'm a tad bit behind the times. For instance, I had no idea what WAP was. When I asked, everyone would get kind of squirmy. So I went and did some research. Changed my life. I said certified free, 7 days a week, wet and pushy. Make that pull-out game weak. Woo! Yeah, you're fucking with some wet and pushy. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet and pushy. Give me everything you got for this wet and pushy. Beat it up, singer, catch a charge, extra large and extra hard. Nothing better to annoy the kids with than my version of WAP. Thank you. I'm Brenda, and please welcome the wonderful and funny Corrine Martinez.
Hey, Brenda. It's hard having a name that no one can pronounce. My name is Corinne. Kids would either call me Corrine, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. because I resemble a 7'2" African American man. And as an adult, the situation hasn't improved. I've been called Corinne, Connie, even Cabbage. Small, skinny vanilla latte for Cabbage. Hey, let go. That's my drink. Oh, dude, I thought they called Kale. No, they called me, Senorita Cabbage. My friend Sylvia just shaved her head. It's bald and still beautiful. I'm jealous because I don't have the cranial bone structure of Sylvia. If I was bald, I would look like Buddha. People would try to rub my belly for good luck. Come on, Powerball. My husband and I, we've been married for 23 years. And the other day, someone came up to us. They wanted to know how long we'd been together. But before I could answer, my husband yells, 50 years? Really? I was furious because it feels like 80 years. My husband and I don't have kids, and it's hard because people say things like, why don't you have kids yet? Don't you want kids? You'd better get pregnant before you turn 40. Did you know that? It's like, shut up, little girl. Just sell me my damn Thin Mints. As a Mexican, my husband speaks to me in Spanish and I answer him in English. But you know, sometimes people, they say stupid things, like at the grocery store. Do you even know what he's saying? No. In fact, I don't even know who he is, but he keeps buying all my groceries for me. Thanksgiving was annoying because it's such a time-consuming holiday. I work 7 days a week. I don't want to spend my only day off cooking a turkey, cleaning my house, picking up my in-laws at Home Depot. Psst, apúrense, manos. COVID-19 has actually been a blessing in disguise for my husband because finally he had a legitimate excuse not to visit my parents for Thanksgiving. I didn't have to cook. We ordered the $15.99 Thanksgiving dinner from Norm's. I even did a comedy show on Zoom. I charged $5 a ticket, to pay for the Norms. I killed it. I had the best set of my entire life and the biggest audience too. Except in the middle of my set, there was this guy who was disappearing in and out of the virtual background. So all I could see was this hairy hand holding a turkey leg, yelling at me, I'm not going to stop eating just to listen to your crummy jokes. You're not funny. This is my house. I got heckled by my own dad. But, hey, I made $30 and I had so much fun. I plan to never see my family in person for the rest of my life. Thank you. That's my time. My name's Corrine Martinez. Please follow me on Twitter at Comedian Corrine. And your next comic coming to the stage is a really funny guy. He's my friend and yours. Please give it up for Richard, no relation, Martinez.
Hello. Thank you for that, Corrine. Cousin Corrine, no relation. Hi, everybody. My name is Richard Martinez. I am in the process of getting out of a very toxic relationship with the President of the United States. Last month, on November 3rd, I was finally able to take the steps I needed to take to get out of this toxic relationship that had consumed my life for the last 4 years. Of course, after the breakup, he's been trying to convince all of his buddies that it's not actually over, which is pretty annoying. He's gone to all kinds of lengths to keep control over me, which is super annoying. But the matter was resolved by the courts recently, and pretty soon he'll be out of my life. Democracy! Yay! Seriously though, during the last 4 years, so much of what I've presented to the world, especially on social media, has been so anti-Trump that I'm a bit worried that once we're on the other side of that, I'm gonna have nothing to talk about. Like, I just don't think there's gonna be a whole lot of conversations to engage in that begin with, can you believe what Joe Biden said on Twitter at 4 a.m.? And don't get me wrong, I am looking forward to going back to the days of not knowing who the president's press secretary is. Like, honestly, gun to my head, I could not tell you the name of President Obama's press secretary because they were not lying liars who lied all the time on our dime, right? There was a time when I could get away with having just like a passing knowledge of how the US government works. But in the last 4 years, I've had to learn so much. Like, I've had to learn so much more than I ever knew about the Electoral College and Supreme Court hearings and about swing states and about the impeachment process and about how much I adored the playful sparring between the Como brothers. Yes, I am a homosexual. I have become invested in the elections that take place in Georgia. Who am I? Now that I have all this knowledge, I don't want it to go to waste. But I do think once we clear out Trump, the news cycle is going to be pretty uneventful, less outrageous. And who am I if I'm not outraged? What will SNL parody? What will Alec Baldwin's career look like? Will Seth Meyers even have to take a closer look? And most importantly, where will I find my personality? Because I've cultivated a very strong anti-Trump persona on Facebook. People have actually, this is true, sent me messages thanking me for the political posts that I've made over the last 4 years. That's a real thing, which is cool, but like, what now? Like, what am I gonna post about now? Do I have to go back to posting pictures of the food I'm about to eat? Or copying and pasting those, let's see who my real friends are posts? Or hoping for an earthquake just so I'll have something to post about? It's gonna be so boring. Which yes, is good for the country, sure, but very bad for this specific social media brand that I've made for myself. And it's already started happening. My Facebook page is so dull these days. It's just like, Alanis Morissette this, Jagged Little Pill that, pictures of the moon. Ooh. Those aren't getting me the likes that I'm accustomed to. I am gonna have to go out and start doing things, which for a social introvert like me is very hard. It's easier to just rage on my phone's keyboard and get the likes that can make me feel like maybe I have a personality that people like, but not anymore. Thanks a lot, Trump. That is my set. Thank you. My name is Richard Martinez, and please go visit my social media pages and give me the likes I so desperately need to feel good about myself. Because if I don't have that, who am I? That is my set. Please welcome back our host to the screen, Mr. Tim Stoltenberg.
Thank you so much, Richard.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before you go, I have a couple quick announcements I want to make about Held Together. Some great things we have coming up. The first thing is on December 19th, the world premiere of Held Apart, the holiday special. The cast of Held Together brings you improv and sketch comedy celebrating the holidays. It's going to be a wonderful show. So many great things in that. You can check that out. Then also on December 20th at 11 a.m., it's a free, I repeat, a free online intro to improv workshop. So if you want to give improv a try or always wondered what it was like, now is your chance. You can sign up. It's free. You get a chance to experience taught by the wonderful people at Held Together. You can find all this information at our website, which is www.held2gether.com. Thank you so much. Really appreciate everyone coming out and checking it out. Remember, it's the season of giving. We have so much to be thankful for, so please give to those in need, and please continue to support your local theaters. And remember to take care of one of yourself, and please be safe so we can all get out of this sooner than later and get back to doing live shows. Thank you so much, everybody. Happy holidays, and take care!